Wallow J here. I'm here with my co-host.
Heart of War. And of course, we got Mike, the Miguelino, Snatcher of Ankles.
AKA Static Shock.
AKA Static Shock. Then we got Sherry, Ms. Roja. Welcome.
Rojo Matadora.
Rojo Matadora. Yeah, there you go. And then we got Pat. They say he's bald Pat, but we had to make a distinction, right? We had two Pats. We had an Afro Pat and a bald Pat. But Afro Pat now moved to Maine, so now there's only one Pat. There could only be one.
Check it out. Check it out. We can just dub him to be Afro Pat now.
No, he's bald as shit, so he'd be cue ball Pat. Anyways, and then we have Chris, producer Chris, back there working the board.
Hola.
Thank you, sir.
And he has gone full Spanish.
Can you say that in English for me, please?
Hola.
What, hola?
Yeah, what was that in English?
He said, hola.
Hola. In English.
Over there, Chief.
Oh, there goes that voice, man. There goes that voice.
He started going Italian and shit, too.
Italian.
I even got my hand up.
Boopity boppity boochie.
Right.
Oh, I'm Italian.
So I see that you're wearing Art's sunglasses.
Yeah,
and a hunk of metal on your chest.
Gold, 2 chains.
So why don't you go ahead and explain to the people what's going on?
So what's up, people in the locker room? Yesterday, your boy went to a tournament, and at first, he was the only ultra heavyweight white belt in the area of Tallahassee.
You should explain your weigh-in.
Oh man, that's.
What happened at weigh-ins?
Check it out, man. So
Yeah, going for Brazilian.
we barely make it there on time because I had to work a little bit yesterday. But no, we get there to the weigh-ins and they have a fucking 15-year-old kid at the fucking weigh-in desk. And, like, I walk in, he's having everyone else weigh in, and then, like, he looks at me, like, he makes eye contact with me, he does the full check me out from head to toe to see, like, man, this guy's big. And then he has the audacity to ask me what weight class am I in. I'm like...
Lightweight?
I mean, it clearly says, like,
I mean, you
on
could have
the
been
paper.
205.
The paper clearly highlighted my weight class, like, it said it. So I guess he wanted to verify, that I guess I'm weighed enough. Like, he asked me, he's like, so what you weigh? I'm like, 155. And I'm just looking, thinking he's going to write down ultra heavy, but no, he was serious about it. And then I was like, fuck it, I'm going to just weigh myself in like I always do. So I was about to take off all my shit, just to mess with him. I was like, fuck, I'll keep everything on, including my bottle of water and whatnot. And unfortunately, not like the AGF, I was only able to bulk up last minute to 284. It was a tough one, man. I was trying to...
So you had an extra 20 on you?
Yeah, I was trying to get an extra bit, man, but I was 20 short.
Last time it was at 309.
Yeah,
so with your backpack and water and all
I was
that
like
stuff.
freaking out. But this kid, he was like, oh, like he wasn't exciting to mess with. He was just like, get the fuck out of my booth. He wasn't playing that shit with me. And it was.
So you tried to tell him 255.
Yeah, I was trying
255, they're like, whatever people say, 255
sir.
or 260. They're 285 or 300.
Excuse me, sir, I had said 155.
Oh, 155, even better.
He was not having that shit with me yesterday.
Set up in the scale.
Yeah, he was like, hey, fatty, get on there. Numbers don't lie, bud.
People lie. Numbers don't lie.
Exactly, man. So I dealt with that. And then, so this tournament was supposed to have, like, ladies fighting and all that. And, like, right after the rules briefing, we were told that it'd be ladies, then higher belts to lower belts. So come 12:30, we read the rules. After that, when the lady's supposed to be fighting, we hear our boy Lane get called out. We're like, oh, shit, that's not a lady, that's Lane. Then turns out they just didn't have any ladies, so they had to go straight to the action. And as the day goes on, I realize, as the day goes on, I realize, I'm like, fuck, there's no one in my weight class. Looking around there, our boy Ricky, he took on a guy. Ricky got him pretty good. Nice Kimura. After that match, I realized, I was kind of watching Ricky's opponent, stalking him, because someone pointed out, like, yeah, you're going to fight that guy. I'm like, nah, fam, I'm good. As time went on, they called the guy to the bracket table. Turns out he took the match with me, and as we went up to set up the match, the ref told us it was going to be white belt rules. The guy was a blue belt, so I asked the ref, I'm like, yo, dog, can we just do blue belt rules? Because, we're limiting everything. Because, as we're getting briefed on rules, the ref didn't say anything to the other guy. He just looks at me in the eye. He's all like, all right, man, so, no leg stuff, no wrist stuff. And then he says this, no twisters, and just looks at me. Up and down, and then...
What's all these guys looking up at you up and down? Do you have, like, an erection or something? What's going on here?
Probably, man. To be honest, I think it's because I look so sexy in my gear.
That makes sense.
Dude, I look pretty vascular.
Did you have a bulge in the huevos area?
Yeah, I wore my cup.
Oh, okay.
He was so vascular.
It's a morphed cup. It's like it sticks out in certain areas, to make you look better. But yeah, man.
He's wearing. My wife just walked up. She's trying to figure out what the hell is Miggy doing.
Hold on, I gotta show this off. And I got the piece of hardware, so people can't doubt it.
Casey.
I really came up to see if Pat brought me some lumpia. But,
I did not.
Oh shit! I forgot the rule from last night.
what the heck?
You done fucked up, son.
You done fucked up,
Man,
Snow
I
Dog.
don't-
Hey, Ron.
Hey, I want you to look into the camera and say you fucked up.
Do it.
I fucked up.
He's like, it really wasn't that difficult to do that. Done it before. Shit happens. Saying.
All of my 20s were one big fuck up.
I just.
Rub
his head.
There you go.
She made a
She'll do
wish.
that, but you won't touch the cat.
You know what? She made a wish, Pat.
The cat taste.
Cat freaks me out.
He had a
It
panic
Feels like your
attack.
head. The cat feels like
It
your
feels
head.
like something else, to be honest with you. It's a fat one, but
A fat one. He's like, I'm not used to dealing with something this big, but Just saying. I know, poor Pat, man. Like, actually, no, I saw the pictures of your match too, Pat, and you looked really composed. You looked real good. I liked how you and actually Joe Caribly, you guys both were looking really good.
They look more
losing
epic.
in the sextuplet overtime, like they should have,
Even though he was promised only 4 overtime rounds.
4 overtime rounds. Man, that's whatever, man. You looked really good.
thank you.
I mean, you still don't get sprinkles from your ice cream, but
Damn.
Yeah, no sprinkles for your cake.
next time.
Hey, I got the most bang for my buck out of everything, though.
Hey,
Had the
Yeah, you
most-
did. Hey, man, how much experience did you get out of that? How comfortable were you?
hold on. He's gonna have to share that mic with Sherry because that audio is not gonna come through. There you go.
Just
Put it in the
stand up.
middle, yeah.
Just get it all up in there.
Oh, sit on
please.
her lap. It's okay.
I know you call her daddy all the time.
It wouldn't be the first time. So what were you saying, like how I felt?
Yeah, how'd you feel during that match?
So from the start of it, as I was waiting, I was actually just thinking about you at your match at the OPI 2 and how you just were like stone-faced, extremely stoic, and I was just trying to kind of keep composure the whole time.
Good.
I was trying to focus on my breathing as much as I could, just because I knew like the first minute I was kind of like I could feel my heart rate, just kind of pumping. But once it actually hit the mat, I felt extremely comfortable. I held the top position. I think I
Maine. So now there's only one Pat. There could only be one.
Check it out. Check it out. We can just dub him to be Afro Pat.
Guys, Wallow J here. I'm here with my co-host.
Heart of War. And of course, we got Mike, the Miguelino, snatcher of ankles.
AKA Static Shock.
AKA Static Shock. Then we got Sherry, Ms. Roja. Welcome.
Rojo Matadora.
Rojo Matadora. Yeah, there you go. And then we got Pat. They say he's ball Pat, but we had to make a distinction, right? We had 2 Pats, we had an Afro Pat and a ball Pat. But Afro Pat now moved to Maine, so now there's only one Pat. There could only be one.
Check it out. Check it out. We can just dub him to be Afro Pat now.
No, he's bald as shit, so he'd be cue ball Pat. Anyways, and then we have Chris, producer Chris, back there working the board.
Hola.
Thank you, sir.
And he has gone full Spanish.
Can you say that in English for me, please?
Hola.
What, hola?
Yeah. What was that in English?
He
Hola.
said, hola.
Hola. In English.
Arrivederci.
Oh, there goes that voice, man. There goes that voice.
He started going Italian and shit, too.
I
Italian.
even got my hand up.
Boopity boppity boochie.
Right.
Oh, I'm Italian.
So I see that you're wearing Art's sunglasses.
Yeah,
and,
man.
and a hunk of metal on your chest.
Gold, 2 chains.
So why don't you go ahead and explain to the people what's going on?
So what's up, people in the locker room? Yesterday, your boy went to a tournament, and at first, he was the only ultra heavyweight white belt in the area of Tallahassee.
You should explain your weigh-in.
Oh man, that's.
What
start
happened
there.
at weigh-ins?
Check it out, man. So
Yeah, going for Brazilian.
we
numbers.
barely make it there on time, because I had to work a little bit yesterday. But no, we get there to the weigh-ins, and they have a fucking 15-year-old kid at the fucking weigh-in desk. And, like, I walk in, he's having everyone else weigh in, and then, like, he looks at me, like, he makes eye contact with me, he does the full check me out from head to toe to see, like, man, this guy's big. And then he has the audacity to ask me what weight class am I in. I'm like,
lightweight.
I mean, it clearly says, like,
I mean, you
on
could have
the
been
paper.
205.
The paper clearly highlighted my weight class, like, it said it. So I guess he wanted to verify, you know, that I guess I weighed enough. Like, he asked me, he's like, so what you weigh? I'm like, 155. And I'm just looking, thinking he's going to write down ultra heavy, but no, he was serious about it. And then I was like, fuck it, I'm going to just weigh myself in like I always do. So I was about to take off all my shit, you know, just to mess with him. I was like, fuck, I'll keep everything on, including my bottle of water and whatnot. And unfortunately, not like the AGF, I was only able to bulk up last minute to 284. You know, it was a tough one, man. I was trying to.
So you had an extra 20 on you?
Yeah, I was trying to get an extra bit, man, but I was 20 short.
Last time it was at 309.
Yeah, so
With your backpack and water and all
I was
that
like
stuff.
freaking out. But this kid, he was like, oh, like he wasn't exciting to mess with. He was just like, get the fuck out of my booth. He wasn't playing that shit with me. And it was.
So you tried to tell him 255.
Yeah, I was trying to.
255, they're like, whatever
Oh,
people
no,
say,
no, excuse me,
255,
sir.
260. They're 285 or 300.
Excuse me, sir. I had said 155.
Oh, 155, even better.
He was not having that shit with me yesterday.
Set up in the scale.
Yeah, he was like, "Hey, fatty, get on there. Numbers don't lie,
People lie, numbers don't lie.
bud." Exactly, man. So I
That's
dealt
funny.
with that. And then, you know, so this tournament was supposed to have like ladies fighting and all that. And like right after the rules briefing, we were told that it'd be ladies, then higher belts to lower belts. So come 12:30, we read the rules. After that, you know, when the lady's supposed to be fighting, we hear our boy Lane get called out. We're like, oh shit, that's not a lady, that's Lane. Then turns out they just didn't have any ladies, so they had to go straight to the action. And as the day goes on, I realize, hey, you know, as the day goes on, I realize I'm like, fuck, there's no one in my weight class. Looking around there, our boy Ricky, he took on a guy. Ricky got him pretty good, nice Kimura. After that match, I realized I was kind of watching Ricky's opponent, stalking him because someone pointed out like, yeah, you're gonna fight that guy. I'm like, nah, fam, I'm good. And, as time went on, they called it out to the bracket table. Turns out he took the match with me, and as we went up to set up the match, the ref told us it was gonna be white belt rules. The guy was a blue belt, so I asked the ref, I'm like, yo, dog, can we just do blue belt rules? Because, like, you know, we're limiting everything. Because, like, as we're getting briefed on rules, the ref didn't say anything to the other guy. He just looks at me in the eye. He's all like, all right, man, so, you know, no leg stuff, no wrist stuff. And then he says this, no twisters, and just looks at me. Up and down, and then...
What's all these guys looking up at you up and down? Do you have like an erection or something? What's going on here?
Probably, man. To be honest, I think it's because I look so sexy in my gear.
That makes sense.
You know, dude, like, I look pretty vascular.
Did you have a bulge in the huevos area?
Yeah, I wore my cup.
Oh, okay.
He was so vascular.
It's a morphed cup. It's like it sticks out in certain areas, you know, to make you look better. But yeah, man.
He's wearing. My wife just walked up. She's trying to figure out what the hell is Miggy doing.
Hold on, I gotta show this off. You know, I got the piece of hardware. So people can't doubt it.
Casey.
I really came up to see if Pat brought me some lumpia. But,
I did not.
Oh shit! I forgot the rule from last night.
what the heck?
You done fucked up, son.
Got done fucked up.
Man, I don't know.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, I want you to look into the camera and say you fucked up.
Do it.
I fucked up.
He's like, it really wasn't that difficult to do that. Done it before. Shit happens. Just saying.
All of my 20s were one big fuck up.
I just.
Rub it
Rub
for-
his head.
There you go.
She made a
She'll do
wish.
that, but you won't touch the cat.
You know what? She made a wish, Pat.
The cat taste.
Cat freaks me out.
He had a
It
band
Feels like your
inside.
head. The cat feels like
It
your
feels
head.
like something else, to be honest with you. It's a fat one, but
A fat one. He's like, I'm not used to dealing with something this big, but you know. Just saying. I know, poor Pat, man. Like, actually, no, I saw the pictures of your match too, Pat, and you looked really composed. You looked real good. I liked how you and actually Joe Caribly, you guys both were looking really good.
They look
losing in the sextuplet overtime, like they should have,
Even though he was promised only 4 overtime rounds.
4 overtime rounds. Man, that's whatever, man. You looked really good.
thank you.
I mean, you still don't get sprinkles from your ice cream, but
Damn.
Yeah, no sprinkles for your cake.
next time.
Hey, I got the most bang for my buck out of everything, though.
Hey.
Had the
Yeah, you
most
did. Hey,
bang.
man, how much experience did you get out of that? How comfortable were you?
Hold on. He's gonna have to share that mic with Sherry because that audio is not gonna come through. There you go.
Just
Put it in the middle, yeah.
Just get it all up in there.
Oh, sit on
please.
her lap. It's okay.
I know you call her daddy all the time.
It wouldn't be the first time. So what were you saying, like how I felt?
Yeah, how'd you feel during that match?
So from the start of it, as I was waiting, I was actually just thinking about you at your match at the OPI 2 and how you just were like stone faced, extremely stoic, and I was just trying to kind of keep composure the whole time.
Good.
I was trying to focus on my breathing as much as I could, just because I knew like the first minute I was kind of like I could feel my heart rate, just kind of pumping. But once it actually hit the mat, I felt extremely comfortable. I held the top position. I think I got to knee on belly, and then went to full mount fairly quickly. And I was trying for that head and arm, and I just wasn't able to kind of. I think I needed more time with that, but
Yeah.
I felt completely comfortable. I didn't feel like I was overmatched. I felt like I actually controlled the match.
Mm-hmm.
For the majority of it. I definitely, once I did get him into guard later in the match, I definitely didn't have the tools needed, or I didn't, prepare from the guard as much. And I was actually hesitant to let go of the guard to try and get to half guard where I prefer to be.
And that's kind of like very super common thing for most white belts, especially first tournament.
Yeah.
A lot of them, they'll get to the guard position and then just freeze and just hold the guy and just hold him.
Yeah, I mean, the kid was like 18 years old. I mean, he was tall. He was a strong kid.
Young, strong
super
stud, yeah.
cool kid, super cool family and everything. It was his first match as well.
Nice.
So we both went into it, and I just had a blast. I absolutely had an amazing time until we got to overtime rounds, and I was just like, all right.
Dog tired, right?
Those overtime
Dude,
rounds were no
Pat-
joke, but they were so much fun. I had such an amazing time. And the fact that it was at actually a hockey rink for
Which
my
is-
first jiu-jitsu
And
tournament.
you
which,
played semi-pro or pro hockey
for 2 weeks, yeah.
for 2 weeks.
Yo, man.
He had a cup of coffee.
Dude,
Pretty
Pat-
much, that's long and short of it. But
Dude.
just kind of see my old life and my new life kind of merge
Dude,
together,
yeah.
just like
So-
metaphorically almost.
That's
After
awesome.
Pat's first match, he looked like the red balloon from It. Because he's
Oh,
just so
he was
red.
pretty red, huh? Well, this is what's crazy is like, so like how long you been doing jiu-jitsu now, right?
I want to say since April,
Since April, right?
somewhere around there.
So, even before that, like, I remember receiving a text or a message, a private message from Facebook or whatever, and this guy was like, and we were watching UFC, me and my friends at Wallow's house, and Pat messages me. I didn't know him at the time, of course. And he was like, hey, yeah, just started asking questions about the gym. I was like, you want to come in, just watch? And he was so nervous. This guy's so nervous. And he came in and just watched one time, and then, like, next time he kind of came in. I think he watched it twice, right?
Yeah, he
No, I
it
watched
twice.
once, and then I came in the next day.
Came in the next
That's
day
right. It was
and
a
started
day
doing a
class.
little bit of tech.
I remember that. 'cause
Yeah,
you
so-
showed me that. He goes, check out this loser.
No, I've never,
I'm kidding.
never said that. I was like, well, it was funny because Brian was like, I bet you anything. He's watching the UFC too, having a couple beers, feeling a little bit loose, and I was like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and do this thing.
Yeah.
And you have done it, and I think it's amazing because you were super, super nervous in the beginning, and it, about maybe a couple weeks in, you started to feel more comfortable getting.
Yeah, I think, because I came in the first day on E-Series, that quarter guard stuff. And for whatever reason, I just kind of ran with that. And I just shot straight to quarter guard or half guard as much as I could. And I just kind of started to feel comfortable there, which allowed me to feel comfortable in other areas as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, I know I'm not, anything good or special, but it's, one, I enjoy it, and two, it's like, oh, okay, now I'm kind of starting to feel things a little bit and just be more comfortable with it all. And it's just, I've loved every second of it.
That's good, man. Another thing I want to say too is like, so yeah, he jumped into the quarter guard series and that half guard, the lockdown, playing with those sweeps and stuff like that. Pat is not like a physically imposing guy. He's not like 6'4". He's not 200 something pounds. He's like a normal dude, like a very
Size of a
unassuming guy.
10-year-old.
Yeah, I mean he's a little guy. No, he's not a little, but you get what I'm saying. He's not like this. He's not like Miguelinho, fucking 6'7" and 300 pounds of lean
Sexiness.
sex appeal. But he's able to take on bigger dudes, guys that are way more muscular than him, way bigger than him. I remember the first time that he pulled quarter guard or half guard lockdown on somebody that was much bigger, much stronger, blue belt, and then he hits old school sweep and he's on top. And I remember him looking over at me and goes, dude, I don't know what to do from here. I was like, you're on top now, bro. This is how you roll. You can start from the bottom, but your half guard sweep game is getting good. You know what I mean? And you're finding yourself on top more. And I'm really impressed with you taking it to that next level, doing it in a tournament. Probably pulled half guard, right?
I tried to. I never
Triple
got to
half
really
guard,
work my half guard.
But you're able to get the sweep to get to top, right?
No, he went for a takedown, and I stuffed his takedown and just followed him straight to the ground and then worked a knee slice.
Even
straight
better.
through,
You didn't even have to play your game. But you ended up on top. So
Mm-hmm.
my whole point is that, like, now that you're there, we start sharpening those teeth, man. Let's get you some kills on
Yeah.
that spot. But I'm super proud of you.
Those
Thank you.
teefuses.
Teeth
Teeth
assist. It's like wrestling, but with teeth.
Yeah. So where do you think you're having problem as far as the top? You just don't know where to go from there, or
I think part of it is just because I am one of the smaller guys. I feel like I struggle to kind of hold everyone down in position for me to establish the position and then be able to work from there. I'm fighting so much just to keep the position and settle, and I'm not getting to a point where I feel settled yet before I can really start to work anything.
have you been drilling just from the top?
The past couple weeks I've been doing more top work, but obviously not enough. So
All right.
this is kind of where I feel like I'm at.
Because Mickey and I, we didn't roll on Friday. We just drilled.
man.
Yeah, so
We drilled for like 45 minutes straight,
And dude, that.
and I think that might work with you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you want to come to the advanced class, and just drill.
Mhm.
I mean, you can roll obviously,
Yeah.
Right.
because there's plenty of guys to roll with. But I didn't roll. I didn't feel like rolling.
Yeah, and that was some great
Yeah.
work. It's like, we didn't roll, but we flowed in a sense that would function like a roll.
Yeah.
And it was perfect, man. Like, I think that's what helped me in my success yesterday.
I think we recapped everything that we did through the
Yep.
week. We worked, the back. We worked spider web,
Hubba guard.
hubba guard.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
that was another thing that I found myself struggling with too. Getting to homing control.
Yo, you had it, man. What the problem was with you is you were trying to use homing control with the right side, but you just forgot to get the underhook because you were in the heat of the moment. That's what what that was.
Well, I
Like,
felt like
you-
I didn't break him down enough to like really allow
No.
my leg to come up and get
Nah,
to my
man.
leg.
Dude, it was totally that because you were trying to do homing control, and instead of having the underhook on the left with the right hand out,
I had like a
he
double.
had double unders on you, and you were trying to do that to his head, so you couldn't keep him down. But you had your legs up and everything like you wanted, but it was that gave him too much space to get out of it,
Yeah, and I think I was kind of silly. I should have spent more time working at top half of the body more, a little bit more,
but here's
just
one
because
thing.
I'm falling in love
Yeah,
with leg
but-
locks.
Yeah, no.
Just because it kind of keeps me equal semi
No, for sure,
with
man.
the bigger
but,
guys.
But what's gonna happen is this, man. For like the next month, you're gonna be like, nah, man, fuck legs right now. You're gonna focus on top and watch. It's gonna become a killer out of that, man.
Give me those Kimuras and Americanas.
Yeah,
You know what's a really
I still
good
love
thing to
the
work on is actually working to get to the back. No matter what position you are, work to get to the back. Once you get there, so two things that are equalizers for smaller guys versus bigger guys. One is the legs, pinning the leg because it's hard for them to lift you because you're stuck on their leg. And two is getting that back. Once you get that back and you have some really good back retention, that's when you're gonna start finding yourself killing dudes that are bigger than you for sure. Back and legs. So
But-
we'll have to concentrate on that.
They're not gonna allow them to do legs in the tournaments yet.
That's why the back.
Well, I tried getting my second guy to go with legs, but him and his coach were like, oh, no, we can't do that, we can't do that. And I even said to the rest, I was like, hey, man, are you cool if we, throw some legs in this? Because he was like a 4-year high school wrestler and all this other shit. And I was just like, hey, man, you just saw my 30-minute match. Can I, get a little bit of a leg up here? No pun intended. I was like, come on, man. And
The coach knew better. He's like, yeah, man, that's a blaring hole in my guy's game. And we're going ahead.
he
and
was
just
like, oh,
stick
no,
with
we're not
wrestle
allowed to
fucking
train
you
leg
death."
locks. I go, well, if the ref's cool with it and you're cool with it, let's just have some fun, man.
Yeah.
This sounds
And
like
he
a
was like,
peer
no.
pressure commercial from the 80s for saying no to drugs.
They're like, no, man, that stuff's illegal. My daughter did leg locks once, and now she's a stripper whore who does coke all the time. Just saying, happened. Just one time.
My kid did leg locks once, and now he thinks the earth is flat.
My kid did leg locks once, and now he's hooked up on that devil's lettuce.
Devil's lettuce.
He's injecting jazz cabbage now. Having issues with little Timothy.
Oh, my God.
He's all up on that marijuana.
His third eye claims to be open now. What does that even mean?
He's straight woke. But damn, no, seriously, that's pretty cool, man. Good deal.
So I posted on Instagram that we're taking calls, and Jiu-Jitsu Vandal, if you guys don't know who that is, that's Scott Einstein. He's like, I'm gonna FaceTime you my dick. Answer it.
Nice.
I'm like, for you, we will answer.
Scott's funny, dude, man. I got to meet him in L.A. I met him over at headquarters, and then
At
over
the Eclipse.
at the Eclipse, and then at Combat Jiu-Jitsu. And he was so funny, right? So, like, I think it was like Nate Orchard was fighting Wagner or something like that, and he was getting hit, and then I hear Scott, he's a funny dude. He was like, "Stop hitting my friend!" I just instantly like laughed and looked at him. He knew he was cracking me up the whole time, dude. He would be saying off-colored shit all through all the
Dude,
matches.
that's all he does.
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
Fucking, I didn't get to hang out with him a whole lot, but the one time when I talked to him over at headquarters, I was like, "Hey man, I think we're gonna be trying to come visit and train with you Monday," which didn't happen, which I'm
Yeah.
kind of bummed about. But he's like, "Dude, you work out?" I was like, "No, I just do jiu-jitsu." He was like, "You're kind of big." I was like,
Did he call you fat?
No, he asked if I lifted weights. I was like, "No, man, I do the Bulgarian bag every once in a while, but nothing
You
crazy."
didn't bust into your bodybuilding stories?
I didn't. No, I didn't try to impress him with my bodybuilding stories.
All right.
So
Hey, listen, man, you're looking at the number 3.
I mean, Chris, he doesn't have to brag. Just look at that physique.
I'm telling you, dude.
That's the image of peak performance right there.
It kills me that he actually looks like that and he doesn't do anything.
who's that? I'm sorry.
Art. He's the
Oh.
image of peak performance.
I mean, like literally, he's got the pecs, he got the arm,
I think
and
it's
he
funny.
does
I think
no
it's funny
weight.
he thinks I don't do anything.
I know, right?
Well, no, you do jiu-jitsu.
I do the Bulgarian bag, man. But
Yeah.
dude, I put on a lot of muscle back in the day, and actually I'm very, very small compared to then. So
God, can you imagine Art, a 25-year-old Art teaching us?
shit.
Is it the emo art?
I dream about that.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, Sherry, you're thinking of
That's
Lincoln
wrong
art.
with you.
What?
You're thinking of Lincoln art. Emo days.
I was never emo. I was never emo.
We've had this discussion. You were emo.
Yeah, we saw the picture.
Yeah, man.
It's a vote of like
It's
10
okay,
to
bro.
1.
When you look at whenever you look at the picture long enough, you can start hearing "Linger" from the Cranberries.
I like the Cranberries, dude. I'm gonna argue this point here, man. I like the Cranberries. Cranberries dope. I still listen. When they come on the radio, I listen to them.
I had this discussion with my daughter yesterday because I think she's emo, and she Googled it, the definition.
So that picture that you guys saw, dude, that's when I was like listening to Slayer, when I was listening to Typo Negative.
Guess
I was
what? That
listening
fits
to
the emo definition.
Slayer?
No, that's
Typo?
No, there's so it's
What?
for me it's odd because I
What,
didn't think.
Megadeth? I was
No, it's those types of songs. The clothes you were wearing and the
Metalhead.
picture that we saw.
I was wearing a black t-shirt.
The hair.
Straight black
Exactly.
t-shirt and
You
black
had
pants.
the chain.
I had a wallet chain, yeah. Everybody had a wallet chain at that time.
Not everybody.
Everybody who was into rock and roll and heavy metal.
Sherry is saying that your haircut said, "I'm Art. I have feelings."
First off, Art has no feelings. I was born without feelings. You merely adopted not having feelings.
Oh man, that's
I
so
don't know.
funny.
But no, I wasn't emo at all, man. I just...
Yeah,
You don't understand me, man.
Emo.
yeah.
Mom,
it's
this is
okay.
not a phase.
This is not face. It's who I am.
That's
You-
what I
you grew
tried
out
to
of
say. I
it.
said it's not bad. It's just a stereotype.
It's like, sweetie, look, just listen to Culture Club. It'll all get better.
Realized then, the 90s, there was no emo.
There was no emo
There was no
then.
emo.
So, what was the conversation like with your daughter when you approached her?
She got like defensive, like
Like, are you cutting
it was a
yourself?
horrible thing, and I said no. I just feel like my definition when I think of emo, for me, I didn't really think that it was about appearance. I thought it was more about behavior, emo, emotional, or lack of. So she was just getting, because she like super no emotions. She
How
doesn't-
old is she?
14.
Yeah, it's that
So
age.
is she wearing all black?
No,
or-
she doesn't wear that.
she
She
like
wears
Hot
color,
Topic?
No.
Does
Okay,
she,
yeah.
does she wear, like, ears on?
Don't
like,
go
How
there.
about this? Does she go
Don't.
to, does she go to
Paws?
Claire's and get
Does she
No.
wear a
black
tail?
eyes?
Does she wear a tail?
Art.
Don't you need a safe
Boots.
place every
She's
time
gonna
you
be a
yell at
furry.
her?
She's going to be a furry.
Does she?
I'm so scared that she's gonna be a
Hey, don't
furry.
feel bad. Chris's daughter tried to be a furry, too. He had to put
I
the
think-
kibosh on that
Yeah,
shit.
I shut that shit down.
You shut that shit right down. She's like, I want a cat suit. You get fucking
You get
pants and
nothing.
stuff.
No. Okay, so we were at Adventure Landing, which is like an arcade game, and like if they have got arcades and laser tag and all this stuff. And this was a year ago for Halloween. She was wearing these ears regardless of Halloween
Oh,
or
the
not.
cat ears.
So she was wearing cat ears and a tail. So it happened to be thick. It happened to be Halloween, so I got lucky that I didn't have to explain that to other people. But I accidentally lost the cat ears when she went onto a ride. I've never seen
Accidentally.
her flip out so much.
Accidentally.
Terry, like she is looking over under every arcade game,
One her
between
cat
every
ear.
crack.
Does she look in the
Flipping
trash and
out.
put 'em?
Yeah, she's.
That was my question.
Yeah.
How much were those ears?
That's what I
Doesn't
said.
matter.
I said, honey, they're probably like $5. I'll buy you a new one. I wanted that. She's just flipping out. I've never had an issue with her
Did she have
behaviorally
a
wise.
a furry name for herself or something?
I don't know. I don't want to know.
Meow Muskers or something?
She's got a tail. She's got 2 tails actually, because then this girl
So
came
she
over.
does have tails.
Yeah, she does. So another friend comes over and she's wearing a tail, and my daughter's wearing it. I was like, "Oh, you got tail too?" And she's like, "No, this is Caitlin's." I'm like, "Oh my God, there's 2 of them."
Fuck.
Like,
How do they talk to each other? Like
No, we-
meow or something?
We put the
No.
kibosh on that shit like,
purr down on that
immediately.
shit.
she's very much into anime, and
Well, that's fine.
cool.
Anime's fine.
She-
'cause
yeah,
I'm into anime, and it's and
but the
that's fine.
animal.
He's
You're
totally
normal,
fine.
Chris. Yeah,
I'm
you're actually
normal.
fine. Dude, back in college, there was like a group called JPAC, and it was Japanese popular culture anime or
You mean
appreciation
J-pop?
club. No, JPAC, Japanese Popular Culture Appreciation Club.
Oh, okay.
And it was made of nothing but neck beards and fedoras. They
Weeboos?
all look the same. Yes.
Yeah.
And the girls were like always this awkward shape of like. You guys remember that movie Flubber? They looked
Yeah.
like Flubber. They all had like managed to have like bowl cuts, but for chicks.
Yep.
They wore the kid ear or cat ears. Always had like these same skirts and stock. It just looked weird, dude. It was like a cult.
Yeah,
So
they all
they
look the
flubber
same.
like they're like flabby.
Dude, and then for Halloween, yeah, dude, like
They're almost like a triangle, or like a
dude,
mountain.
You know, like that little toy, the original Shake Weight, like it's like a clear plastic thing with like glitter and shit inside of it. They look like that, but just a little bit rounder in the
That's
midsection.
that's not a shake weight.
Is it that
not-
thing that you squeeze
Yeah,
and
they look
like
like that, but
goes in and
when you
out,
look-
inside and out, like
How about
that
this? They
thing?
look like.
Oh, you mean the
a Red Bull
masturbation
can.
toy you got from the
Yes,
from the
it's
fair?
like a pocket pussy.
Yeah.
So imagine
But
a Red
it's a
Bull
toy
can, but round in
for
the
kids.
midsection.
Hold on, guys.
Yes.
We can't all talk at the same time.
Sorry, I was too excited.
There's too many people talking, and he's just.
Too much information
Yeah,
coming out
it's-
Wallow.
it's
He's,
like-
Wallow needs.
Well, no,
he needs
it's
to
not,
write
it's not
this
only
down.
that, but when you listen to it in the podcast, it's like it sounds like. So it's like.
I understand.
but anyways, put a stop on that furry shit.
So what happened?
Hashtag in furries.
With what? Mine?
Yeah.
Gas,
Oh,
gasoline.
We just
Gasoline.
said we just said no.
But how did she approach you about it?
She asked me if she could save up some money because she gets an allowance, and she was like, I want to save up a good bit of money because I want to purchase something. And I was like, all right, well, you got to tell me what it is first. I'm just not going to let you ride. And so she started telling me about what it was. She was like, I want a costume, and I was like, a furry? And she's like, yeah, and I went, no.
Okay, so what definition is that for you?
What do you mean?
Like a furry, is that a full costume?
It can
With-
be.
Like a hole in the rear or what?
I mean, it can be, or you could just.
Because my daughter only has ears and a tail, so I'm like, where do I draw the line?
Well, see, ears
let her
and-
have the imagination versus no, give me your
ears and
phone.
It's 14. Her imagination's dead.
No, ears and a
think his
tail are fine. I'll let ears and a tail. I'll let that slide. But Tegan
Chris
was,
is just
Tegan was
saying that.
going full. She wanted full costume, and I was like, nah, ain't fucking.
Never let him
happening.
go full fury.
Full
Furry.
retard.
And but the thing is because I'm very open with my daughter, just the same way my dad was very open with me about a lot of things. So
Is that why you turned gay?
yes, exactly.
I feel like your daughter's a little bit more farther along than mine is in that.
You say that, but I completely disagree.
You haven't met my daughter.
Does she? Well, never mind. Tegan will probably hear me if I say something bad.
Oh, say it. It's
She'll-
okay.
She's probably listening. She's like, all right, Dad, you're
Yeah.
time to slip up, man.
Listen up.
And
here.
maybe I'm in denial. I don't know. I just
Well,
don't.
break it down to her, because I broke it down to Tegan and told her exactly. That's like, no, this is
Right.
why I say no, and kind of thing like that. And then even she was like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah, no. So you're a kid, you don't understand. There's
Words and shit.
Yeah.
You want some parenting tips from Miggy, who has
Oh,
no
would-
children
has
at all?
no
would
children.
love it.
Check it out. I have a cat, so I guess I'm kind of like,
A parent, sure.
yeah, kind of know what I'm talking about. Just make your child watch cringe videos of furries on YouTube for hours straight, and if that doesn't work, ground them.
So,
How do you ground a kid when you?
so you know what's funny, man? Is I had somebody like say something to me about, you're not a parent, you don't know what it's like. And I was like, you're right, man. But when I see a fucking accident happen, like a helicopter in a tree, I know that pilot fucked up. I don't have to be a pilot to know that. you
I
know?
mean, when I see
I'm like, you
somebody-
fucked up. Not saying you guys fucked up, but I'm saying like sometimes I'm like, I totally stole that from a comedian. He totally said the
Oh
same
yeah,
thing.
to add on to that though, I can totally relate because I see some kids. I'm like, yep, accident.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, you see it coming.
You didn't read them. Yep. You. Da-da-da-da. I'm not saying you guys did. I think you guys do an
You
amazing
guys
job.
are great.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know. My
see-
kid was just on the roof, and I had to deal with the cops.
What? Tell me this story. Why are they on the roof and why are
I
the cops
don't.
there?
So It was, I think, Thursday. My son calls me from my daughter's phone, which when I answered, I'm like,
Yeah, honey. He's like,
yeah,
oh.
I thought, and he goes, are you on your way home? And I was like, no, I'm at work. And he goes, can you come to the park? Why? What's up, buddy? The cops are here. They want to talk to you. Oh, what? I was like, wait, what? And then my boss walks in, and I was like, why are the cops there? And he looks at me, so he sits down to listen. And so I was like, Jacob, what's going on? Well, where's Caitlin? She's right here.
Kid, spit it out.
I was like, put Caitlin on the phone. She's like, hey, what's up? And I was like, well, why are the cops there? What did Jacob do? Well, the kids were on the roof, and I was like, hold on, what? Let me talk to the cop. Because they were not, like...
Kicking it out?
No. So I talked to the cop, and he said, well, there was a call that was called in that there was kids on the roof and some kids skinny dipping in the pool.
Oh.
So I was like,
Well, who was
hold
skinny
on,
dipping?
hold on.
Okay.
So then I'm like, well, does my son look like he was in the pool? Like, is he wet? And he goes, no. And I said, so was he on the roof? And he was like, yeah, I believe he was one of the kids on the roof. I was like, okay, I'll talk to them. And so I got my daughter back on the phone. I was like, Caitlin, is Jacob wet? Does he look like he was in the pool? And she goes, no. I said, his hair's dry and everything. She goes, no, he wasn't in the pool. Put Jacob on the phone. I was like, Jake, why are we on the roof? Well, someone threw my Rubik's Cube up there. I don't give a fuck who did what. You're not going on the roof.
Man.
And then he goes, well, Alex was eating ramen. So it just like
'Cause that makes
random
part,
weird.
you know.
So it turns out when I got the full story from all the other kids, and then so I'll go into that part next. They had been on the roof for a couple days after school, just chilling, not really doing anything. They were just sitting up there, but at the same time, it's dangerous. So I go on Facebook because I figured someone called the cops, and my subdivision is so good about just going on Facebook and being like, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's just a bunch of people who don't have anything to do, I guess. So I go look. First thing is teenagers climbing on the fence at the pool. There's a bunch of comments, so I go in there. And it's like a play-by-play of what they're doing. Oh, girl running in her bra, running around the pool. This and that, and then they're like, oh, there's 2 boys and some girls on the roof of the amenity center. I'm thinking, what the hell? Like, how about you put the kids' safety first and at least go tell them to get down? And then there's like, oh, you need to call the cops. Well, the cops were there. You know, other people were like, the cops are there. So I saw them talking to him. They're like, I hope the police get him. And I'm like, dude, you guys need to, I don't know. I'm the type that, like, it takes a village. Just go say something. It's so simple.
Yeah, you know, I see the problem with that is, it's like you go say something to someone's kid, and they're like, who do you think you are talking to my kid? So I'll give you an example. So across the street from me, not my neighbors I have now, but across the street from me, I did have neighbors, right? And I'm pretty sure they're like running some sort of like illegal childcare thing. And we had a bunch of ducks out and baby ducks out during that time, right? And like, so I'm pulling in from work, and I see just the 2 kids out there like taking this football and spiking it on these baby ducks. I was like, hey!
Fuck.
They looked at me and I was like, don't do that. They're like, yes, sir. And then the lady comes out, she's like, who yelled at my kids? I was like, it was me. And she was like, why are you yelling at my kids? I was like, they're spiking a football on a baby duck. It's animal cruelty. It's actually a felony. She was like, well, if you have a problem, you come talk to me. I was like, you were not there watching the kids. And then the other lady comes out. She's acting all mean as I'm pulling away because I'm going to go to training. I'm like, what are you going to do, fat lady? What are you going to do?
Dude, you know what that sounds
What are you
like?
going to do?
Why do people get so, like, I don't care if someone, and my son's the type that if someone was like, hey, you need to get down, he would have got down, no questions asked. And, like, he was talking to the cop, and my daughter said that he actually was really respected, and he was almost crying, like,
Yeah, they need to be respectful or whatever.
You know,
but
he
there was another
probably-
girl.
Your son probably was wet because he probably peed his pants running through the cops.
Ooh.
He was scared. He didn't want to get in. He's not a bad kid. He gets bored, and other kids when they start doing stuff. So I told him, I was like, first of all, just don't go
Before
on
you
the
know it,
roof.
they're naked in the pool. throwing
Yeah,
rocks.
so there was apparently another girl who was giving attitude to a cop, and he called her out on it, and I believe she's probably the one that was running around half naked. My daughter said she's one of those kind of kids.
See, you know how you
Dang.
prevent that from happening, having your daughter run around naked?
Tasers.
No.
I heard a
You
belt.
just body shame them.
You're too skinny. I didn't
You
see
know
that.
what if her parents do body shame her? And you have these little boys.
She just rebels. She's
No,
like,
dude.
oh yeah, well all these boys are touching me.
You know, just the boys
They
are
like my body.
The boys are like, girl, you ain't fat, girl. You just a little thicker, girl. Let me see you run around the swimming pool in that bra, baby. That's
Most of the
what
people
happens.
were like, you
Miggy
know,
has
remember,
experience.
they're like, remember what you did when we were kids. Like, climbing a roof is not that bad.
I got body shamed, so.
Hey, I tell you what.
Yeah, look at you now.
Hey, there used to be some neighbors down the road, and the mom did that to the daughter, and the daughter was 5 years old, maybe 5 years old, was not a fat kid, was not a skinny kid, she was a kid, and God, she used to, anytime she saw that kid eating something, it didn't matter what it was, it could be eating dinner, she had something to say to that kid about eating dinner. You know, you're eating too much, you're doing this, and just fucked with that. The problem is you start doing that, man, you are setting that kid up for some real fucking issues down the road.
Everybody nowadays has some issues.
You know what else
Listen,
sucks?
listen, guys, while I was kidding, don't get all fucking shitty.
Man,
You're just kidding, man. Don't shame your kids. Don't beat them too bad. You know, a little bit. They need a fucking belt sometimes.
Hold on. Chris, this isn't Callahan?
No, this was in this neighborhood.
Oh, fuck, that was in Callahan. We're expecting to hear, like...
Believe it or not, we don't have that shit in Callahan. We don't, you just...
Because everybody's fat.
You
gonna finish that? Of course I am. That's a stupid question.
So they're like, God dang, it's my god dang Vienna sausage and my god dang Budweiser shit.
Where's my Vina? The piggy in the blanket, you know what I mean? You grab that shit and go.
But see, I kind of had to, you know, I was telling Sherry and Miggy this morning, I had an issue this week, too,
Super fight?
with my kid.
Which one?
Tegan, she had an issue at the bus stop the other morning. Kid kind of hit her a couple times across the back of the neck. Kind of upset her. They stole her phone and did shit like that and caused her to get upset, and she came home.
Of course, it's still her phone.
And, well, they gave it back to her after she got upset. But the thing is, she came home, and I was like, all right, look, I'll take you to school. After school, we'll go down, talk to his parents. We'll handle this. You know, no big deal. I'm not going to talk to a kid because, you know, nowadays you got that fear. You try to, you know, you say something to a kid, you know, shit gets out of line. Somebody says you said this, says that, and, you know, I don't want to deal with that shit. So I went down there. I went to the bus stop, waited for her to get off the bus, just to make sure she wasn't going to have any issues again. Soon as the boy that did hit her, as soon as he got off the bus, he bolted. I mean, immediately was like running down the road.
He knew what was up.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, no biggie, you know, because he lives, you know, 6 houses down. So I went down there, knocked on his door a little while later. He answered the door, scared shitless. I was like, you know, is your parents home? No, sir. Okay. Well, just, you know, when will they get home? And he told me the time. I was like, all right, I'll be back. And so me and Tegan went down there. Tegan was nervous as shit. She's like, I don't know what's going to happen. Oh, God.
Super fight.
So, yeah. So I go down there, knock on the door. Man answers the door, and he is built like a fucking brick shit house. This man is massive.
That's what she said.
I'm like, fuck. I'm sitting here wearing, you know, my mat therapy shirt, my hoodie, and I'm like, fuck, I hope shit doesn't go sideways.
You know what almost happened? Chris of War almost made an appearance.
Like, well, what was cool is, like, as soon as he stepped out, super well spoken. He's like, before you start, I'd like to go ahead and apologize to your daughter for what my son did. And I'd like to go ahead and apologize to you as a parent that, you know, we run my house with military justice, so you can rest assured that this issue will be taken care of.
So did she get court-martialed?
I haven't seen the kid all weekend.
Man.
But it was super nice, and you know that's what you do. There again, it's a real parent. You know, so it's nice when you're actually dealing with a rational parent,
Grown-ass adult.
a grown-ass adult. So then, as we're walking back, Tegan was like, "Oh my God, that went so smooth," and I'm like, "Yeah."
It's because I do jiu-jitsu.
Well, no, I was like, that's why you let parents handle shit, babe. And, you know, you don't talk to kids and shit like that. You just let us deal with it. And, you know, 2 adults can get together and we'll figure shit out. But, you know, I asked her, because she did defend herself, but she was 2-on-1. So she got a little overwhelmed with that. Because the kid hit her and she popped him back. So, of course, it escalated from there.
Popped him, guys, is a slang for punched him back in the face.
That's Callahan talk.
In case you didn't know, she had to dot that I. You know what I mean?
Cross that T.
No, cross the T doesn't make any sense. Dot the I. Dot the I. Oh, fuck, you fucked that all up.
Well,
You're lost in translation. Dotting the I. Getting your eyeball with a dot. They're
I would
incorrect.
say cross the T
Maybe-
is like in the nose, so that way you can.
maybe his name was Tyrone and she hit him with a cross.
No.
Cross the teeth.
The T. The
Teeth.
T.
He's trying to recover, Art.
He's trying, dude. He's grasping at
That was a
straws.
great attempt. I have to give him credit.
That was.
Sorry for my bad joke, people.
Hey, no, it's good.
That was a great bad joke. I understand. That was cool.
By the way, I started writing my jokes. Have you guys started writing your jokes?
So like,
Start writing jokes.
Why am I
You writing jokes?
yeah. So
Dude, I just tell a story, motherfuckers.
No, hold on,
I ain't
hold on.
telling no goddamn jokes. What do you want with it? With some one-liners? What do we got going on here?
Listen to this. Listen to this.
Is it Mexicans unwrapping the tortillas? Is that what you got? Is that what you bringing to the table?
That's all producer Chris right there.
Producer Chris.
No, you know how they have dad jokes and they're all clean?
Yeah.
Dad joke.
So we're going to do our version of it.
But 30.
No. We're going to keep it clean. Yeah, they got to be clean.
I really wanted to do a dead baby joke.
Yeah, but hey, man, you know what's grosser than a truck full of dead babies?
Oh, God.
Go ahead, ask me.
Go
What?
ahead.
Unloading them with the pitchfork. Just saying.
See,
Too soon.
I may have.
and y'all think some of the ones I